With commentary and analysis on our hometown teams, this is the Bucky and Sully Show. Presented by the Vinyl Outlet, Western New York's best in fence, deck, and railings. And by Mattress Firm. Save money, sleep happy. Now, from the WBBZ-TV studio, here are Buffalo News sports columnists Bucky Gleason and Jerry Sullivan.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bucky and Sully Show. I'm Bucky Gleason, and I'm with my buddy here, Jerry Sullivan.
Oh, now I'm your buddy. Because you know now. I'm going to praise you, and I know you don't like to blow your own horn.
Sure I do.
You wrote in March that the Sabres should hire Pat LaFontaine. And go back and I tweeted, I should tweet it again, because there's a list of other guys who are probably going to get hired too, including Jason Botterill. And I know a lot of the knuckleheads in social media were crushing you at the time. So you deserve to feel good about it. But can I ask you a couple of questions?
Knock yourself out. Look, you're going to anyway.
I feel like the moderator here. Why? Now, I don't want to know why they did it. I want to know why in March you said in a column in the Buffalo News this guy should run the Sabres.
Because I just thought, Sully, that it made sense. I knew Pat LaFontaine. I knew what he was about. I knew that his son was going off to school, that he would have the time to do it. He's a former Sabre, a respected person, very good with public relations, understands hockey. He was every single thing that Darcy Regier wasn't, basically. And, you know, if you're looking around for a new general manager or a new, structure to the organization, you don't just say somebody should be fired. You better have somebody ready to hire. And if this guy's not going to be able to do it, who should be put in there? That's all that it was. Look, in the last couple of days, it seems like I've gotten a little bit of credit for coming up with Pat LaFontaine or saying that Regier should be fired. I really honestly don't deserve it. I mean, to me, it was common sense. It wasn't some stroke of brilliance. It was just common sense. This guy should be fired. Hello, it's pretty obvious. And Pat LaFontaine is a perfect person to take his place because I knew that he would structure it the right way and get the right people.
Well, I don't know how perfect it is. It's a great move for sentiment, and he's a former Sabre. It plays well with this owner. He doesn't have a big track record, so I think you were going out there and saying this guy has what it takes. And I remember Patty. I covered Patty. I think he's a brilliant guy. He's a great PR man, this was, if nothing else, a PR move. And I think it could very well work. I got another question for you.
Okay.
Ted Nolan. I mean, I was floored by that. I was driving my car, and I thought it was a joke. Someone had just floated out there. And I'm not trying to diminish what he can do as a coach, but after 16 years, it was just surreal. Right. And I think he used that word when he talked to you in the column. Do you think he can succeed here to the point where he has a job a year from now?
It's a good question. It's going to be one, Sully, that remains to be seen. Ted Nolan is the right guy now. And first of all, it was shocking. I was shocked, too, when I first heard Ted Nolan was coming here. But as soon as once you understand that Pat LaFontaine is coming here, the idea that Ted would join him is not much of a stretch. If you go back, and I've covered those guys. I covered Patty as a player, and Ted was coaching, and I was working. So I knew both of them, and I've known them both for a long time. If you know one is coming, having the other one come along with him isn't that much of a big deal. To answer your question, and I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yes, it's possible. Teddy Nolan is the right guy to hire right now because what the Sabres basically have is a junior roster that needs an attitude adjustment. He's very good with young players. He's proven that over and over. He is not a huge X's and O's guy. He's not. He's not going to get his teams to play that way. This guy is all about playing hard, playing right, and playing with emotion. And if you don't play with those things, you're not going to play for this guy. Pat LaFontaine knew that before he called him. Pat LaFontaine expects that now. He's going to get that from now and for the rest of the season, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
And he's a great PR man. I gotta interject here.
Go ahead.
Patty, stop calling Pegula one of the great owners in sports. I know you have to say that. He's your new boss. He's got a lot of money. He's not one of the top owners in sports. I still think Pegula's a buffoon, and I hope he steps aside and he takes Black and Sawyer aside, and that they have nothing to do with the hockey operation. But I have to ask you my third question. Sawyer, Black, who have been empowered by this owner, do you see them being at all involved in the hockey decisions now?
Ken Sawyer, to me, doesn't have any business being in this organization or in any kind of hockey role at all. You have a hockey guy right now right in front of you, and I think a really good one. Pat's going to get the right people around him. He understands the game, all those things. Ken Sawyer, I don't know what he does. Anybody that calls Darcy Regier a genius, when you look back on that now, should be fired just on that alone. I don't know how close he is with Terry. I don't know the man, but I know that. And there's absolutely no reason for that guy to stick around. What they're doing, Sully, with Ted Black is obvious. This guy's strengths are in business. It's not in making hockey decisions. They are putting him in a position of strength. They're having Pat LaFontaine run the hockey side, which is his strength. They're having Ted Black run the business side, which is his strength. So it's split at the top the way that it should be. It all flows down from there. Now, you have to understand, Sully, that a key to this whole thing is that LaFontaine has to get the right general manager in here. You know, we're talking about him leading the
yes.
You know, the organization, but he's got to, you know, bring in the right guy. And that's why I think it was another reason, Sully, for giving Ted Nolan the interim tag. He wants his own general manager to be able to call that shot.
Of course.
He's got to call that shot.
If in any way they told this new GM who to hire or they had to keep Ted Nolan, they might as well just have kept Darcy in there. And I'll go back to something I wrote the day Pegula came to town. I did say you should have a director of hockey operations. It took him 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll get lucky in that, you know, the current crop of candidates, assistant GMs in this league, are better than they were 3 years ago. But it's a joke that it took them this long. This is an obvious move. Every team in the league has one of these, don't they? A guy who directs hockey operations and who has the GM underneath him?
Well, it's structured different ways in different places. But what the Sabres, you know, you talk about the Detroit Red Wings model. What they're really doing, I think, is looking at the Bruins model. Cam Neely at the top. You get a very smart, brainy general manager in Peter Chiarelli. Neely gives the organization credibility, which is what Patty brings more than anything. He's going to be able to lure, to recruit some of the better available young general managers in the league or available general managers in the league. Players are going to want to come here way more now than they ever would have when Regier was around. All those things, that's how you build the organization. It starts at the top, and then it comes down. At the top was a problem for the Sabres, which is why the organization is such a mess.
Yeah, he's a people person, Pegula, which I don't even believe. But maybe he should have been more of a organizational person. If he was such a genius.
All right, we're going to take a break, Sully. When we come back, there is plenty more to come here on the Bucky and Sully Show.